this camera up right? It's not working. Why is this not working? What does this setting do? Let's see. Oh my god, retouch. I like that. Ooh. No, let's not do I don't know. I kinda like it. No, let's turn that off. Okay, let's turn that off. Du, 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 du. DJ got us falling in love again. Anyway, let's see how these little guys are doing. Oh, these are actually kind of cute. Let's see. All right, these have been dried out enough. So I'm actually going to show you an easy way to propagate and bury succulents. We're going to bury some succulents with me. I'm going to show you an easy way to take clippings of your succulents like this. Mm, Just little clippings. You need to let them sit out for a little bit to callus over. But I'm going to show you a really easy way to get these clippings to really grow. So let's get this started, okay? For me, when it comes to witchcraft, succulents for me, they represent strength, resilience, and growth. Even during the worst of times, succulents will literally survive. They will survive. And that's what they represent for me, myself. Growth. So what I'm going to do is now succulents love these terracotta pots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of soil to this pot and I'm going to layer these succulents. I'll show you real quick. I'm going to layer them. Because all you have to do with these, place them in soil. Place them in soil and then bury them. I'm going to bury these. I'm going to put some more into soil. I'm going to bury these ones. And I'm just going to repeat and repeat endlessly until in a couple weeks, my succulents literally start blooming. And you'll see them poking up out of the little container. You'll see the little succulents popping out of the container. But I like to bury mine. I actually have a lot of good luck just burying the succulents in soil. And I just like to leave a couple like this. Now I'm using a mix of peat moss with compost, perlite, and orchid bark. Um, Very airy soil for succulents. Always, always. And like I said, when it comes to succulents, for me, they represent strength and hardship because usually succulents will wither through anything, usually. So I like to put the soil almost up to here. Then you want to layer them just like that. And then in a couple weeks, they'll poke through. Don't water them too much. That's why I have them in a terracotta pot. You don't want to water them too much. Hi, Mark. But yeah, you don't want to water them too much. But I like to bury mine. You don't have to. You can just stick the stems into the soil and they'll just reroot. But I like to bury my succulent clippings. My little compost bin here. I want to make sure. Oh, I have a couple more. Hold on, I have a couple more. That's my compost bin on the left here. That's what you hear rattling around. Little compost bin. Yep, I got another clipping, so I'm going to bury this one. And that's the easiest way I know how to do succulents is just bury them. Take some cuttings, bury them, they'll reroot, and they'll come right back. I've had a lot of success doing this. I'll show you one of my succulents that I did this to last year, and it has had a lot of success. Mhm. This is my pink jade. I've had a lot of success doing this. What am I talking about? Plants, darling, plants. I'm a plant channel and a witchcraft channel. That's all I talk about is witchcraft and plants. But this is the jade, the pink jade that I regrew from a couple of cuttings, and I did the same thing. I buried it. When it started sprouting up, I repotted it into this adorable little pot. And like I said, I've had a lot of luck doing this. So I just continue doing this. And it's really easy. Just plop them in soil and water them. Very, very easy plants. You can also do it with this plant right here. I'll show you in a moment. You can also do the berry method with Tridescantias. You can literally just bury the entire plant in soil and new growth will grow in the nodes. So yeah, I love Tradescantias. Like, isn't this absolutely gorgeous? This is such a gorgeous plant. But that's how I like to bury my plants, get them to regrow. Not every plant you can do this with. Usually Tradescantias, succulents you can do this with. Sometimes pothos, but it's a 50-50. I'd recommend just water propagating those. But yeah, if you want nice bushy house plants, that's one way to do it. But yeah, this is my Tradescantia. It's still a little baby. Um, I originally buried this plant and it decided to grow itself. You can do that, like I said, with succulents. You can do it with Tradescantias. Just bury them and they'll regrow. And you'll promote better roots, a better root system, because each and every node of this plant, when it's under soil or covered, sprouts a new root system, a new node, etc. And it'll just keep going and going and going. But yeah, but yeah, I am a witchcraft and a plant channel. That's what I do here. That's what a lot of my subscribers like to see. So that's what I like to do. An example of a Tradescantia that I'm currently letting reroot itself is this one. This is my almond, not this one. This is not my almond. This is my almond, and I did the bury the plant method. And as you can see, all new root systems, new growth, new everything. But with the Tradescantias, I like to keep them bushy. So if you want to keep your Tradescantias bushy, just cut, trim, give it a haircut, just like I'm doing right here. It'll push out new growth, new nodes. Or if you want to, you can pinch the leaf system above. But I like to promote a bushier plant and just basically give it a haircut. Just chop, just chop. That's all you gotta do. And just like that, everywhere I just cut, a new plant will form on a node. So yeah, just do that. Or you can just pinch the leaves on the top to promote it as well. You just take the little leaf on the top and you just yank, just pull it out, and it'll start growing down below. That's the easiest way that I propagate and do my Tridescantias. Every time you can also pin a Tridescantia to the dirt, bury it a little bit, and again, it'll just become a bushier plant. It'll grow new roots, new nodes. I have an almond, so of course, some of the growth is going to be white in color. Not all the time, but with the correct sunlight, it should do that. But that's my Tradescantia, which I did the berry method with. If you have a Tradescantia outside, or you're growing one outside or in a greenhouse, you can also use a burlap sack. If you want, use a burlap sack. Like I said, bury the whole plant, make little slits in the sack, and they will poke through it. And they'll just vine and go completely down. So that's one method that I love to use when it comes to succulents and specifically the Tridescantia. I've had wonderful luck growing my Tridescantia collection doing this, and I'll show you my cream. This is my favorite Tridescantia. Again, I'm gonna have to clip its little node up on top. So basically what I'm doing, and I'll show you real quick. I'll show you. So, see these little leaves? Wait a minute. See these little leaves right here? The ones right in the middle? This little leaf here? All you have to do is just pull like that, and new growth will start growing down below. That's all you have to do. You just have to pluck the little leaves up on top. It's not hurting the plant, it's pruning it, and then they'll start growing down below. It's also known as deadheading. Some people say deadheading. Um, but yeah, this plant I want to grow extremely bushy, very vibrant. So, uh-oh, look at that. So, one of my Tradescantias went whoops and passed away. Not passed away, but see the little node right here? All you have to do is if you accidentally break a piece off, stick your finger in the soil, put it inside the soil, and wait. It'll regrow. These are one of the easiest plants to literally regrow. You cannot mess these up. Nope. Very hard to mess up these plants. But like I said, if you just deadhead the longest of your vine here, they'll just continue to grow down below. And it's a very simple and easy way to propagate your plant without it looking horrible. Yep, you just pull it out. See, this one's too young. I'm not going to do that. But for this big guy, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to pull out each little tiny section, and now they'll just grow more down below. See, just yank and done. Yank and done. And then just repeat. Every single lengthy node, it'll just regrow. And that's why I love Tradescantias. They're very easy. Just do not overwater them. They only need water once every 2 weeks. Very easy plant to take care of. They don't need a lot of water. They don't like a lot of water. But yeah, it's a very easy plant to grow. It's one of my favorite plants to grow. Mistakes do happen, and they're so easy to propagate in water. It's ridiculous how easy it is to propagate a Tradescantia. You can, like I said before, bury them in soil, keep it a little damp, or simply water propagate them. They're extremely easy to grow. Yep, and I love them. And this also does work with every variant of the plant, not just one. Hmm. Do, 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 do. So how is everyone doing today? I hope you're doing well. Mhm. But right now, apparently Discord is down, so that's unfortunate. I enjoy Discord. I get to communicate with my besties, and it's fun. It's a very unique tool that I have a lot of use for. Now let's go get some water in this, and then wait a couple weeks and wait for it to regrow and resprout up. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining the live today. I try to go live multiple times a week. I don't currently have a set schedule, which might be a little helpful. But again, I'm on Blue Sky, I'm on Threads, I'm on Instagram. It's either, one of those. But anyway, I post daily on there. So I want to thank you all for subscribing, and you are absolutely wonderful. But if you want any more plant tips when it comes to houseplants, let me know. And when this bad boy starts growing out, I'll post an update. Later, everyone.